week we bring you action from Harold's Cross, semi-finals from Cork, the launch of the St Ledger in Limerick, plus a Christina Noble benefit night. But first we go to Shelbourne Park. The weekend got off to a flying start at Harold's Cross with the final of the cool performance Puppy 525. But first we had the heats of the Peggy Kelly Islandbridge Sprint.
In the opening heat of the Peggy Kelly's Islandbridge Sprint, number 4, Confused Rebel, was an impressive winner, but there was a hint of controversy about the race. Just look at the traps before the dogs came out.
They're approaching behind the traps, and away they go. Good break on the outside by Close to Perfect. Up there too is Confused Rebel, and they're being followed into the turn by Get It Done. And as they round the turn, it's Close to Perfect on the outside, Confused Rebel just behind them, and on the inside Rooster McCoy as they race down the stretch. It's going to be 4, Confused Rebel, from 6, Close to Perfect, and third, number 1, Rooster McCoy.
In the second heat, the Roy Foster trained Tamna Swank, racing from trap 2, had everything his own way.
Here behind the traps, and the way they go, and beginning well is Tamna Swank, leading to the first bend. On the inside is Nikita's Rocket. Towards the outside, Rules Supreme, but it's Tamna Swank with the advantage as there's bunching in behind. Tamna Swank left with a 6-length lead into the home stretch, and down the straight they come. Tamna Swank out in front, being chased home in second by Duncarrick Spring, with Nikita's Rocket third, ahead of Paul's Hill in 4.
Well, I was a trainer for 10 years in Australia, and I always wanted to, as soon as I got here, I wanted to have a look at the dogs. So got into doing muscle work and did others, as a muscle man. And then I've graduated to two-legged animals now. So gave up the dogs in 85, and now I work on people. Dogs race for a longer time. Track's a bit softer than I remember it in Australia. A couple of guys I was talking to before seemed to think less injuries, and so no, I liked it. I mean, we knew a fair bit about Ireland. We had good Irish sires in Australia. Going back a bit now, Shamrock Point. And a few others, but they did very well, very well in Australia.
On to the third heat now, and Dalcash Black, Irish Sprinter of the Year in 2003. Well, he was in scintillating form.
The hare approaches the traps, and away they go, and Dalcash Black came out smartly, so did Balerno Harry on the outside. They're chased by Woodhaven Tulip down the inside, Jamella's Phantom. As they go into the turn, Dalcash Black, but on the outside, Balerno Harry. They're chased by Jamella's Phantom as they race down the home straight now. Dalcash Black out in front. Dalcash Black from Balerno Harry, Jamella's Phantom in third, and 4, Richmond Roy.
In the final heat, the trap draw certainly worked in favour of Initial Key. The Wexford Raider did nothing wrong in victory.
The hare approaching, and away they go, breaking well on the inside, Initial Key, and on the outside, Man of Steel. Up there between them on Fornia Rua. They're chasing the turn by Fiora Prince. But as they run the turn, Initial Key on the inside from Man of Steel on the outer, and they're chased by Fornia Rua down the home straight. Initial Key, and flying home on the outside is Man of Steel, close enough for third, Order of Merit, finishing well. Race 7, the big race of the night, the Cool Performance 2920 Puppy 525 final. First prize of €3,500. Race sponsored by Patsy Byrne. Trap 1 is Michael Lonigan's Knocknaboa Anya, trained by the owner. This one, the daughter of Mustang Jack and Noir's Ladybird, has won 2 of her 9 starts. Out of trap number 2 is Sing On Bridge. This one owned and trained by William Coyle from County Kildare, son of Moyne Rebel and On the Ropes. Out of trap 3, the white jacket is Growing Pressure, owned by Martin Cuddy and Patrick Delaney from County Laois. Growing Pressure is son of Honcho Classic and Jaruna Crafty. Out of trap 4 is Glenn Cole, owned and trained by Kay Curley from County Offaly. This one is son of Jamella Prince and Castle Hill Fancy. Out of trap 5 will be Barna Prince. This one jointly owned by Derek Barry and Graham Redmond, son of Whiteford Judge and Truly Jewel. He's raced 9 times. And finally, out of trap 6 will be Garrigaboo. This one owned by John Carlin, trained by Paul Kiley, son of Drupes Vieri and the Soviet War. Greyhounds going to traps for the Cool Performance Puppy 525 final. The hare approaching the traps, And away they go, and breaking smartly on the outside. Gary Gaboo also up there is Sing On Bridge, and between them growing pressure into the first bend, and Sing On Bridge leads growing pressure in second. As they race down the far side, Sing On Bridge from growing pressure. Glenn Cole out of trap 4 is next on the inside. Then there's a break of 3 or 4 lengths back to Gary Gaboo out wide of Knocknabohania, and a long way last is Barna Prince as they round the home turn and race down the straight in this Cool Performance final. And it's going to be tight. 4 finishing well on the far side of 2, tight between number 4 Glen Cole on the far side and number 2 Sing On Bridge, with them chased home by growing pressure. So the result of the Cool Performance 29-20 Puppy 525 final here at Harold's Cross. First, number 2 Sing On Bridge by a short head from number 4 Glen Cole. Third, trap 3 growing pressure, and the time 28.95.
It's the first final that I have been in, and I'm really overjoyed with it because I bred, trained, fed the dog from birth. When I got the break and made the first bend, I felt I would get enough down the back straight that might hold on, you know. I was a little surprised that he went off the third bend. I felt I had been beaten and I was really, really overjoyed when I heard the results was in my favour. I think we will consider the Vodafone puppy stake that's been run here in July. I'll give him his every chance in that. We're willing to take our chance in it and see where we go from there.
Thurles Track held a Friends of Christina Noble Children's Benefit meeting on the 29th of May. People turned out in their droves to support this event, and once again Irish Greyhound racing was able to benefit people around the world. The lady behind it all explains how it came about.
Des Hannafin read my book some years ago, and the Minister, Mary Hannafin, had been out to Vietnam, and lots of other people from Thurles, you know, there's 2 girls been out with our Sunshine Kids, and I think with Des, he really wanted to do something for us and got a whole team together. We met in Dublin, discussed it, and then came back, and the results is what you're seeing here tonight, and it's fantastic. We have one of the largest education programs in Vietnam, and I think the way out of poverty is definitely education. So our priority is education and medical care. If we can get those 2 things, we can get the kids, you know, back into normal life again. It's all about being independent adults. It's not about, you know, feeding bellies all the time. You do that, you have to do that to keep them healthy, but it's about giving them their life back, really. There's a great team of people, volunteers, Irish volunteers, Vietnamese, all the colleagues Vietnamese. It's an incredible team of people work with me in Vietnam and Mongolia and in Ireland, as you know. It's huge support from Ireland, and Ireland really keeps Mongolia running, and we really have supporters throughout the world now, and thanks to all of them.
The Christina Noble Foundation also having some projects in Mongolia. These projects which are implemented in Mongolia, it's a good example of how we can deal with children, poor children. This is very important, and I would like to express our heartfelt thanks to Christina Noble and to her friends.
The big race of the night was the Father Jim Harney Open 750 Stake.
The Open 570 in Trap 1 Clune Pride, owned by Matt O'Connell, trained by Liam Harding. Going from 2, Statute Bard, owned by Gareth McGrath, trained by Anne Wade. In 3 is Stupid Poot, owned by Tony O'Connor and Ger Barrett, trained by Paul Hennessy. Number 4, Confident Choice, owned by Liz Bodie, trained also by Paul Hennessy. Going from 5 is Arabian Joe, owned by George Webster and Pat Stokes, trained by Porry Campion. And on the outside in 6, Sidewalk, owned by Sean Cleary, trained by Stephen Burke. The hare now coming up behind traps for this 570-yard race. And away to go, very level start. Number 4 out well done. That's Arabian Joe leading up to the corner by about a length. 1 Clune Pride well positioned on the inside and railing nicely on the. Oh, there's trouble out the rear. Number 3, Stupid Punt, turned over at this point. And now number 1, Clune Pride, goes on down the far side, opening up a gap here from 4, Confident Choice in second. Number 2, Statute Bard is next. But it's number 1, that's Clune Pride, a lead of 2 lengths coming around the final bend. Confident Choice is sticking to him in second and beginning to close the gap. But it's 1, Clune Pride. Here's Confident Choice, number 4, finishing fast. Oh, it's very close there at the line between number 1, Clune Pride, and Confident Choice putting in a big finish. And the result of the Father Jim Harney Open 570, number 1, Clune Pride, the 5-2 favourite, winning this one for owner Matt O'Connell. Second, number 4, Confident Choice, and third, number 2, Statute Bard, the time 31:52.
There was another presentation to be made on the night as Kevin Hennessy presented Christina with a greyhound called Mama Tina, out of Bitch of the Year Long Valley Tina. Paul Hennessy will train Mama Tina free of charge, and the proceeds will go to the Christina Noble Children's Foundation. Well done to everyone who helped make the night such a huge success. We'll look ahead to the fixtures now, and on Thursday at Shelbourne Park it's the first round of the Sporting Press Irish Oaks. On Friday at Harold's Cross it's the first round of the Vodafone Corn Cúncullen, also the semi-finals of the Peggy Kelly Islandbridge Sprint. At Longford it's the first round of the Green Park Lodge Longford Derby. On to Saturday, and at Limerick it's the second round of the Kerry Agribusiness Irish St Leger. At Shelbourne Park the first round of the Sporting Press Irish Oaks, and at Cork it's the final of the Macroom Motor Services Stake. At Lifford, it's the semi-finals of the Lawrence Crossan Memorial 600, and at Tralee, it's the first round of the Kerry Group Hospital Stake. And on Sunday, it's the Beam Festival of Racing at Kilkenny. For quick and concise information on Greyhound form, upcoming fixtures and a multitude of data, visit the Irish Greyhound website at www.igb.ie. The crowds packed the stands at Shelbourne Park to take in all the action promised by the Olympic B Puppy Oaks final. But before we get to the race, a bitch with a Mexican connection, Miss Wonderful, trialled for the Oaks. We spoke to the ambassador of Mexico, who has an interest in the bitch.
Got interested in races through Joe Gregg, who's my assistant in the embassy. He's got a dog whose name is Miss Wonderful, and I've been following her, this bitch, for some time, and I believe she's doing very well, so I'm betting on her for next time.
I didn't imagine that she was ever going to be as good as she is, and she ran in an unraced stake about 5 weeks ago, and about 3 weeks ago then she won the final in a very fast 28.61. And now we were hoping to run in the Puppy Oaks, which is the final tonight, and she kind of was off colour, so the trainer didn't take any chances. And then he said, well, we'll hold her for the Oaks proper. So we trialled her tonight. She ran very well, 29.09, and we're just hoping that she'll improve a little bit now for the trial come the Oaks next week.
It's a wonderful development, this one that you have here, and I enjoy it very much. It's, you can have a good meal, you can have fun. My sons are betting and getting some money, so we're all very excited.
It's our second time to Dublin. We came last year, and this time we thought we'd do something different by coming to the dogs.
Are you enjoying your evening?
It's fantastic. It's absolutely lovely.
The winner of the £100,000 William Hill Greyhound Derby, Droopy Scholes, within Shelbourne with his connections to receive an award on behalf of the track. Paddy Ryan and Patricia Griffin made the presentation.
The runners now on parade for the 2004 Olympic B Puppy Oaks. Trap 1 is Graysland's Flow, one of 3 runners for Owen McKenna and Neil Bruce. This is a daughter of Larkhill Joe and Nuri Bio. She's won 4 from 6. She's ideally drawn. Expect her to get involved. And in Trap 2, wearing the blue jacket, Ballymac Floss, owned and trained by Liam Dowling down in Kerry, a daughter of Thomas the Best and Blonde Returns. She's won 9 from 16, and I think she'll go very close. Trap 3 is Graysland's Misty, trained by Owen McKenna once again for Neil Bruce, a daughter of Larkhill Joe and Yuri Bio. She's yet to win a race, but just watch this one finish. She comes home like an express train. In 4, Graceland's Pixie, the third runner for Owen McKenna and Neil Bruce. Once again, a daughter of Larkill Joe and Yuri Bio. She's won 4 of 9 starts. She is another with big pace. She's one of the favourites and certainly can't be ruled out. In 5, Rathmartin Joy, trained by John Ginger McGee for Paul McConnell in Donegal. This, a daughter of Deanside Equity in Rathbay Lark. She's looked a real decent sort in the last couple of weeks, but she has a little bit to find with a couple of them. And finally in the stripes, Vesuvius, trained by Paul Hennessy for Martin O'Mahony in Dublin, a daughter of Roanoke in Cathunda Lace. She's won 6 of 15. She flies from the second bend, but she will be a long way behind. Here now on the way for the final of the 2004 Olympic B Puppy Oaks. And away they go, and Graceland's Flow off to a good start, but look at number 4. That is Graceland's Pixie. Leads around the corner from number 5, Rathmartin Joy. Back in third on the inside, number 1, Graceland's Flow. But around the second bend, it's number 4, Graceland's Pixie that leads. Number 5, Rathmartin Joy gives chase. Then comes number 6, Vesuvius. But into the third bend, and Graceland's Pixie continues to lead. Look at Vesuvius. She's flying at this stage. Forced a check though at that point. But it's still number 4, Graceland's Pixie. Leads around the final corner. Here comes number 6, Vesuvius. Up the home straight. It's Graceland's Pixie and Vesuvius coming to the line. And Vesuvius gets there. Vesuvius wins it from Graceland's Pixie. Back in third, number 5, Martin Joy. The winning time is superb, 28:52. And the result of the 2004 Olympic B Puppy Oaks. The winner, in emphatic fashion, Vesuvius, coming from well off the pace to beat number 4, Graceland's Pixie. In third, number 5, Rathmartin Joy. And the winning time, a very fast 28:52.
She did a fantastic run tonight. Up to now she hasn't really been coming out of the box, and tonight was really the first night that she hopped out, and with the late pace that she has, she had a tremendous run. We're truly delighted with her. Knowing the pace that she has coming home, we were pretty confident that she'd be able to catch the leader. She checked and lost her footing between the 2 last bends, but made it up on the run home, as she always does coming around the last bend. If she's anywhere close to anything in front, watch out, she's coming home.
I presume now it's the Oaks next, is it?
I'd have to talk to the boss. Paul Hennessy will tell me where we're going from now, but certainly we'll have to look at that, yeah.
So anyhow, Paul, where will Vesuvius be going now?
Next week, Michael, the Oaks starts here, and all hands on deck. Anything we have that's female, I'll run in the Oaks, and that's where she'll definitely go after tonight's performance. She's entitled to her chance in it.
You know, she was a big price, but she's noted for her flying finishes, and she really produced one there.
Yeah, we got great luck just on the line. You know, she got away well tonight. She hadn't been coming away that well. And I suppose with the law of averages, she's due one reasonable break, and thanks be to God she got that tonight. I mean, that's the most important way to get it.
Last week, from IGB headquarters in Limerick, we heard details of the launch of the prestigious Kerry Agribusiness Irish St Leger, which has been run in Limerick for over 70 years.
Arrives at Traps, and they're off and racing with a massive roar. Down the centre they go. Mount Leader Rolf is well out, and it's Mount Leader Rolf that leads from Not Mac, the favourite. On they go to the second bend, and Mount Leader Rolf showing in front from Not Mac. Nikita Billy takes up third, but the track record holder here in Limerick, Mount Leader Rolf, is out in front. Closing is Not Mac, but so too Nikita Billy. They swing the final turn. It's desperately close. Mount Leader Rolf up towards the line. Mount Leader Rolf wins it from Nikita Billy.
Well, the Leger is probably one of the most prestigious classics on the calendar. And in the Midwest, in our headquarter areas here in Limerick, it is the biggest event on the calendar. It's been here in Limerick since the 1930s. It's a marvellous event. This year it promises to be, I think, one of the most spectacular in more than 25 years. And with a prize fund of over €70,000 and a first prize of €35,000 to the winner, we're certainly looking forward to a smashing event.
If you told me 6 weeks ago that we'd have 72 dogs of the quality that we have, I would have been astounded. I would confidently say that it's the best Leger, quality-wise, in the last 25 years.
Excitement is building in Cork as the semi-finals of the Macroom Motor Services Stakes were run on Saturday night. Mal takes us through the race.
Dogs are loaded for the first semi-final. It's Long Valley Homer in 1, 2 the reserve, Kilbaha Cat in 3, the White Jacket, Il Capitano, Travara Rex 4, 5 Rock Hill and 6 Captain Peacock. Long Valley Homer housed in box 1, looking for his third win in as many starts in this stakes and breaks out reasonably well. But fastest away is Captain Peacock, and Il Capitano is well in contention as well as they swing the opening bend, and it's Long Valley Homer now that creeps through down the back straight. A big challenge on for second and third. Il Capitano is there. Captain Peacock well in contention. Travara Rex beginning to make a challenge as well, but we have a clear leader to qualify here. That's going to be Long Valley Homer up towards the finish, being followed home by Il Capitano, and Travara Rex takes third. And so our 3 qualifiers for next weekend's final. Long Valley Homer winning in 28.63, and joining him in the final we have Il Capitano and also Travara Rex.
It didn't get off to a great start, but came around the first bend grand and pulled away from there. It's nice to see him back to himself now, and hopefully he can go on now next week and actually win the final.
Dogs have been placed in traps for the second semi-final. In 1, it's Barefoot Maestro. 2, Historic Moment. Kef Cardenny 3. 4, the reserve, De Burglar. 5, Hare's Mile and 6, Chip Lad. Chip Lad clocked 28.61 when winning his last round here, and from box 6 again tonight, out only okay. And down the centre it's Kef Cardenny, that's off to a real flower and leads into the opening bend. There's a lot of dogs in contention behind. Barefoot Maestro now beginning to show pace. De Burglar, the reserve, there as well. But the lead now held by Kef Cardenny, and Barefoot Maestro now takes it up at the third bend. It's the red jacket of Barefoot Maestro that leads. Kef Cardenny still there on the rails. Into the finishing straight though, it's Barefoot Maestro is going to hold on. Or is he from Kef Cardenny? Very close to the line, and a couple of late challenges there also. An exciting finish to the second semi-final, and it's a win by a neck for Barefoot Maestro. Second, Kef Cardenny, and in third, the reserve, De Burglar. The time, 28.39.
He didn't come away very well, but showed good gears around the back straight and drove a good bend, and I know we weren't going to get beaten from there,
John O'Farrell of the sponsors performed the trap draw for the final of the 2004 Macroom Motors Services Stakes. It is as follows. In 1, Il Capitano. 2, Long Valley Homer. 3, Barefoot Maestro. 4, Travara Rex. 5, De Burglar and 6, Kef Cardenny.
Next week we bring you the first round heats of the Sporting Press Irish Oaks and the Vodafone Corn Cullen, the second round of the Irish St Leger, plus the Bean Festival of Racing from Kilkenny.